So I talked to my mom. You know how history is a lie agreed upon, right? It's a hell of a thing if it was true, but at the same time, try to try to be historically accurate. It doesn't really I don't know. It doesn't really help you. It's like too smart for your own good at some point. And it's not even really that smart. Who doesn't know that Hitler was National Socialist, right? Who doesn't know that the Nazis were National Socialists? I told my, I had to remind my mom that because because she had to get on a basis with like historical accuracy, and I was whatever. Like, so you agree, but whatever. Like, I'll agree with that, but it's like a whatever. Like, history is history. Like, it's so much to the extent is history, that when you tell somebody something like that, they will agree with you, but like they don't take it serious. Like, I'll agree with you, but like both. You agree with me and you don't agree. You're a revisionist. Like, mom's a revisionist. Oh my gosh. She doesn't know that the commies hate her. She thinks the commies are more in line with her politics than conservatives. They hate her. She doesn't know. Okay. But I mean, for a long time I thought queer meant you were gay. But queer is a political ideology, not a sexual orientation. And so on terms that people want to own that or trigger the opposition, they don't want to know what the opposition really means. And both sides are playing this game with assimilation. Like the conservatives don't want to acknowledge acculturation because they're playing this owning and triggering the libs based on reason and decency that gets violated, and you can make the argument and that there's more logic or reason and demanding that immigrants assimilate. Okay, you know that assimilation is not the human ability. Okay, like we can acculturate, but you can't assimilate. And assimilation, you wouldn't want them to because that's menacing. I don't want anybody trying to loot my culture or trying to attack it by cloning it, by assimilating it, or demanding that I assimilate to something when they know that you can only do your best to acculturate. So yeah, they're not sending their best, is why you said, right? But they still just say assimilation. Like, stop trying to trigger him. Like, speak real. Sooner or later, if you never speak real, you're going to blame somebody for forcing your coercion to resonate with their message instead of your own, and you just wanted to appease, and so it's not your fault. It's not even your fault that you don't speak real or true, right? Because it's mean. Mean? How? Because Hitler killed. He did all these terrible things. But okay, but why are you telling me that? He was a fascist. Like, okay, then you don't agree. If you're saying he's a fascist, then you can't agree with me that he was a National Socialist. Whatever fucking agrees. Whatever fucking agrees with me. Then the communists are like, we want to fight against assimilation theory now. Of course you would. Because that sounds so stupid that you would just be like, I don't want to beef with anybody that's scary. I'd rather beef with fucking butter soft ass so like I wouldn't want to have a real foe. Like, if you get to choose your fights, choose to fight the one that you can easily beat. if it's all the same. So it's like they want to have this enemy and fight against assimilation theory now. They don't want to have an opponent that acknowledges that acculturation is a friendly gesture consideration. Because they're not asking for that. They're not asking for no consideration or no friendly gesture. They just want to own and trigger and say, I was right and you're wrong and there's reason and you can't disagree. Who gives a fuck what they acknowledge? You want the government to acknowledge what they can't control or what they think they can't control? Should you even care? You want regular people strangers walking down the street to acknowledge shit? Acknowledge this. Excuse me. Will you acknowledge something for me? No. Like the only way that you care is if by relationship to you, if someone is like your child or your wife or your sibling or somebody important, and they are sort of coming up with the communist ideology. You would want to kind of anathematize them, you know, but they would act like, oh, it's no big deal. Go ahead, you know. Do the anathematizers think it's a big deal? That's the whole point of it, isn't it? Like, they didn't think it's a big deal anyway. We're just going to do this. He's like, we don't want you to do that. As part of our, the direction of our, you know, social group or whatever, we prefer you didn't do that. Okay, well, I'm going to do it anyway. Okay, we hope you come back sometime, but until then, like, we're communicating. Yeah, no big deal. It ain't no big deal because this is something I want to do. I don't know. Just sometimes like it sounds like, oh, I sense open-endedness and just a word that is more vague than something that you could use to describe what actually happened. Every time somebody says racism, I'm like, what happened? Like racism happened. Like, no, you got to tell me what happened. Like, you gotta tell me what happened with a word, like a word that describes what happened. You know, these are like almost like not humanly possible situations because people really aren't thinking like that. So, but it's still open-ended. Like, it's still like it shouldn't be, you shouldn't just say by itself, you know what I mean? It's just like, okay, what? A race is what? Like, it's like, I'm trying to give an example of how, like, an open-ended, like, you know that's not a complete phrase or a sentence. It's like not even a complete sentence or a phrase. I don't know. Communists will have you accepting something that's wrapped up that isn't wrapped up sometimes, you know? It isn't obvious. Like this is not what we do know. They're always saying, like, it's obvious this is, we already know this. Like, no, we don't already know that. It isn't clearly, obviously anything. Like, no. But there's also why, but if you want to get into that, but you'd have to stop throwing Joe in the volcano. Because you haven't had a grip on truth, it's like somebody else's fault.